Welcome to Manage Bill of Materials and Product Data with Upchain, connecting data, people, and processes. Before we get started, we're going to get into a little bit about M2 Technologies. So M2 Technologies is a consulting firm focused on productivity, improving manufacturing process efficiency, and reducing manufacturing costs. Using generative design and best-in-class manufacturing and asset management processes, our team of industry experts can help you become more sustainable, more profitable, and more prepared to meet the demands of urbanization in a rapidly changing world. We are committed to helping clients realize the business benefits of BIM and asset management quickly and economically by facilitating the use of innovative processes and technologies. Whether it's streamlining your product design, maximizing asset longevity, or optimizing your processes, our team is one of the most experienced groups of manufacturing technology consulting professionals. We partner with world leaders such as Autodesk, Panzura, EaglePoint, and Bluebeam to utilize innovative technologies and methodologies to empower sustainable manufacturing and overcome local challenges. To support the industry, we offer a wide range of services, including CAD management, simulation, CIO advisory services, and training. I will be presenting today. My name is Tristan Gunderson. I'm an applications engineer here at M2. I work with our clients to help them optimize their workflows, get the most out of their software, and utilize cutting-edge technology. So today we're going to be looking at Upchain. We're going to start with a brief overview of Upchain as a product and how it works into your company. Then move on to using the CAD plugin, look at the bill of materials, document management, the CAD viewer and markup, and lastly, overview of how you can use it to stay connected. So what is Upchain? In short, Upchain is a cloud PDM and PLM solution. Now there's three key points to this. First is being a cloud product, which means that you and your team have access to the data, information, and connectivity from anywhere that you need it. Next, let's break down the PDM and PLM. So product data management and product lifecycle management are two common parts of a manufacturing workflow. However, Upchain brings them both into a single product. For product data management, this means you can store, share, view, and collaborate on CAD files and other file documents all in one place. You can work directly with different CAD applications. This includes leading CAD apps like Inventor, SolidWorks, CATIA, and PTC Creo. All of them are able to interact directly with Upchain, and you can access those files, save, store, and view them all through Upchain. This also allows you to maintain revision control. Every time you make a change to a file, that revision state is saved in Upchain, so you can go back and access it at a later date or view changes made and who's made them. This is done using a check-in and check-out process. So in order to make changes on a file, you check it out, which gives you control of that file to make any changes, to save it. And then when you're done, you can check it back in. While it's checked out, it'll be locked to other users, and they can see who has the most recent version. This allows you to always be on the same page and always have access to the most recent version of files. On the other side, we have the product lifecycle management. This allows us to maintain projects and bill of materials that will store all of those relevant files in one place where the entire team can access them. In there, we can manage the lifecycle states and workflows of products. This means that we can create custom workflows for any kind of design process or checks that need to be done. You can have set workflow steps in order to have it go out to different teams for approval, or create different lifecycle states to mark it as in progress, or when an assembly is ready to be released. You're also able to create and maintain project schedules. Upchain has a built-in Gantt chart scheduling system. You can link items such as products or documents to the different tasks in the schedule, and so everyone has access to what they need and when they need it. Also have an entire change management and review process system built in to Upchain. So you can send out change orders or other documents within the system. And lastly, there's a built-in 3D CAD viewer and markup tool. So everyone can see the different products, download them if needed, and even create markups in Upchain to reflect any changes that need to be made. When you open a project in Upchain, it first brings up the dashboard. In this dashboard, we can see the current status of our project, any assignments that are completed or need to be completed, overdue, and critical assignments, as well as general data and feedback on the project. On the side, we also have quick access to some of our most important locations. We're in the dashboard now. We also have the bill of materials, project management, business processes, documents, and project settings. In the bill of materials, we can view and maintain all of our items and access any linked tasks or documents to those items in the bill of materials. Next, we have the project management, where we can maintain our schedule and view any upcoming or past due tasks. Next is the business processes, where we can see all of our change orders and other business documents. We then have our documents, which contains any PDFs or Excel files that are linked to our project. And lastly, project settings, where we can change any settings we need to on the project. There are 3 different product options for Upchain for the different levels of access needed: professional, team, and participant. Professional is the top tier for Upchain and has access to all the features included. This is best used for key engineers and management who will need access to creating new CAD files, using those plugins, and managing all of the items. Next is the team, which will have many of the same permissions as the professional, minus the access to the creating those CAD documents or CAD files. And lastly is the participant, who will have the least access, but is still able to access all of the data in Upchain, export and download files from it, and even use the 3D CAD viewer without the ability to markup. So to get started in our key focus for today, we're going to start by looking at the CAD plugin. The CAD plugin can be downloaded and is a desktop application used to connect Upchain with your CAD software. When you open it up, it'll immediately recognize and connect to any of the available CAD programs on your system. As you can see on the right, it then has different plugins you can launch for each of the different applications. When you launch this will then provide you with access to your projects, your bill of materials, documents, and any tasks or assignments you have in Upchain, and connect directly to your CAD application. You can create new items from your CAD application using the plugin. You can check in and check out items, and you can save items. What this allows you to do is to get the most recent version of the file, make any changes needed, and then either save the file to update it in Upchain or check it back in to give others access to make changes as needed. Here we have a short video to demonstrate how you can create items using the plugin. Here we have an assembly in Inventor. As you can see, it's listed as not registered. So we're going to select our current project. We'll go to the bill of materials view. And what the not registered means here is that we do not have items for any of this assembly. So we can check in, we can save, but what we want to do right now is create item. We then can select one or multiple projects, or even go down and select subfolders within projects in order to save these two. After this runs for a little while, it'll create items in our Upchain and check in those items for our assembly. Then when we go into Upchain, we can access in our bill of materials all of the CAD models that we just created. From here, we can see all of the linked items. We can see other files such as translations, drawing files. We can also use this area to view the model within Upchain rather than having to open it up in our CAD application. We have many different tabs we can access here to view different links, our revision history, and even suppliers. So to go in a little more detail of the bill of materials management, this is where we can store and access our CAD models, our drawing files, and any of those other related documents. We also can quickly access the viewer and markup tools to collaborate on our models and drawings from the bill of materials. Bill of materials will work as the central location for all files and workflows. When we select an item in here, we have access to all the different details and information that we will need. In our Details tab, we can see an overview of part descriptions, such as item number and other details that are brought in from the original CAD. We can then see any connected business processes, such as those change orders or revisions. We can access any documents that are connected directly to this file or linked from the project document base. We can view CAD attributes and physical properties such as mass, center of gravity, and other details that are imported from the CAD application again. We can view different categories that the item has been sorted into. We can see that revision history. We can go back and we can look at previous versions, see who made any revisions, and even restore an old version if needed. We then have our where used, where we can see all other locations or files that reference this item. We have compares, where we can compare with other items or previous versions of the same item to see in the viewer what changes have been made. Next, we have our Suppliers tab for any parts that are manufactured off-site or that are purchased items. We can maintain all of that information for the suppliers here. And lastly, we have linked items for any additional items that are linked. Next, we can go into our document management. We are able to add documents to individual items or to projects as a whole. To do so is very simple. We either go to the item or go to the Documents tab, and we select Add Documents. From here, we can open up our browser and select all relevant documents and add them. Here you can see our button to add them for an individual part, or when we add them to the project as a whole, we can then access those from the Documents tab in the project. Once we've added a document to the project as a whole, we can then link it to individual items. So we can go to the item and create Add Upchain Document. This will allow us to select documents that are already saved in the project and link them directly to the item so they're easier to find and access later. We can create subfolders for better organization if we have a lot of linked documents, or we can put it in the main folder. We're able to share these documents across multiple projects or link them to several different items. Once it has been linked, you can then find it easily by accessing that item in the bill of materials. If we select one of these documents, we can view it in Upchain, or we have several other options. We can download it or check it out in order to make edits to the document. We can also share these documents, move them, copy them, or archive them if they are no longer relevant. Much like with other items, these documents have several different tabs to quickly access linked data and relevant information. This includes any linked items, other linked documents, the revision history for the document, and security settings. Here we have another video to demonstrate the viewer and markup tools within the bill of materials. So if we select an item, we can go to View, and we can either view the drawing attached or view the model. When we do this, it creates a 3D representation of our model within Upchain. We can select different items to highlight them, or even toggle the visibility on items to get a better view. We have several different tools to better analyze our files within here. We can use our cutting planes to view internal features. We're able to create up to 3 different cutting planes in the 3 coordinate directions. We can flip the direction of these cutting planes as seen, and we can even drag them directly to where we need them. When we're done, we can remove all these cutting planes. Next, we can create an exploded view where we can quickly explode our assembly in order to view the different parts included. And we can just scroll back and forth on that wheel in order to change the level of explosion. We have several different markup tools available. This includes circles and rectangles to quickly call out features, as well as text box, where we can create notes in order to reflect any changes or other details that want to be called out. We also have the ability to free draw to create markups. We can move these lines as needed, or just quickly create drawings in order to better express what needs to be changed, revised, or we want to call out. Notice when we hit the home button to revert the view to the original, it removes all these markups. So you want to make sure to save any markups necessary before changing your view. We also have the ability to change the visibility on our model as a whole to wireframe, solid, or even solid with face lines called out. We have several different measure tools as well to quickly analyze our models. We can select edges to create dimensions, calling out those lengths. We also can call out angles or even measure the distance between faces. Each time we do this, it's going to create a 3D dimension placed in our 3D viewer. This means that unlike the markups, even if we change views, these won't disappear. We have several different options for how we navigate. We have walk, turntable, and the orbit, so we can quickly go around and view different sides of this product. Here we can see you can save and download markups to create those markups and access markups that were previously made. You have our simple navigation box, or you can use the scroll wheel and clicking and dragging to navigate around the item. And this covers the key features of the 3D viewer. Lastly, we're going to talk about connectivity. Connectivity is really the core to Upchain. It's the benefit of connecting the PDM and PLM. You're able to have multiple teams accessing the same information, be able to have teams outside of engineering, be able to see the different models, be able to create markups, and communicate more effectively. Keep everyone on the same schedule with the scheduling tasks, and have those scheduled tasks and all those documents linked and connected to other items so that everyone knows what is relevant to each item. And at the center of all of this is the bill of materials and the items. From the bill of materials tab, you can access almost all relevant information to a project. Any tasks, document, business processes that are relevant can be connected to the items in this bill of material and accessed directly from them. You can see just by clicking on an item, you're able to quickly access the viewer. You can send the item somewhere else. You can create anything from another item to a requirement, quality assurance, project task, and change request, as well as create different visualizations, reports, import or export, or even move or remove that item. All of it's because in Upchain, you're able to link your CAD, your bill of materials, your documentation, project management, change orders, supplier management, and so much more, all in one place to keep your entire team all on the same page. All right, we'll now open up for questions. If you have any questions, you can type them into the questions tab on the control panel for GoToWebinars, and we'll try and answer any that come up now. Or if not, you can always contact our team later with any questions that you think of. I'm just going to give it a minute for anyone submit questions if needed, and then we'll move on. Well, it doesn't look like we have any questions at the moment, but if you think of any questions later on, you can always contact us through our website, at our number, or through salessupport@m2t.com. Thank you for joining us, and we hope to talk to you soon.